Hey everybody, it's the Ioniq guy. Today's video is going to be an update on the ongoing level 2 charging issue with the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Kia EV6, and the Genesis GV60. So I've got a new statement directly from Hyundai. They wanted me to share it with you guys. Now I did recently have the ICCU recall done on my car. My car did not have to have its fuse or the ICCU replaced, it simply got the software update. And since then, I've noticed some interesting behavior with my charging at 48 amps. So I want to share it with you guys today. But before we get into that, I want to share some new products that are available from my store at www.ioniqguide.com or down below. So this first product is a keychain that resembles the charging port lights of the Hyundai Ioniq 5. The next item is going to be this magnet I designed that looks just like the top trim Ioniq 5 wheel. Now it's 3D printed in black, and the silver you see on here is actually 3D printed on the part as well, so it's not going to rub off, it's not paint. And you can see a little rare earth magnet on the back. Stick whatever you want right on your dashboard. And the next item lives right here behind your charge port. This is more for you apartment dwellers, people who do a lot of public charging. And you can see right here, I have this little device that you pop off, and it hangs right from there and blocks the very bright flashing charging indicators that you might not want bringing attention to your car when it's left unattended in a public space. So it has two little nubs that sit in two of the ports of the J1772 port, and that allows you to just go ahead, put it there, and when you do stop and charge, it's readily accessible right there. It's not gonna fall out. Those two pins are gonna keep it securely in place. Now you don't have anything to worry about. Those two pins do not make contact with the electrodes in the charging port. So all of these are available for purchase in the links below the video or on my website, ioniqguide.com. If you're international, please check out my Etsy store. So Hyundai Public Relations sent me this statement last week, and it reads, Hyundai is aware of isolated reports of charging interruptions with the Ioniq 5 when used in connection with certain level 2 home chargers. A software update is available for Ioniq 5 owners encountering this issue that reduces the likelihood of a stopped charging session by slowing the charging rate in response to charging temperature increases. The software update uses an increased temperature threshold from the original version, allowing improved charge rates while maintaining the charging system within a safe temperature range. Hyundai is further investigating the issue to determine if additional improvements are feasible. Many factors affect charging rates, including the type and condition of the charger, as well as ambient temperature. Hyundai's approach is to maximize charging rates while also protecting the vehicle systems. So I want to start by thanking Hyundai for providing that statement. This is all we really ask for. This is all we really want, is them to acknowledge these issues. I'd say the biggest takeaway from this statement is the fact that they're saying in the software update, which I'm assuming they meant VCMS update from several months ago that prevents the charging session from completely failing, but just charging at a lower rate. It sounds like they're saying that they increased the threshold for overheating of the charge port or wherever it is failing. Now, if you do plug a Bluetooth OBD2 scanner into the car and use a car scanner app on your phone, you can watch in real time that VCMS AC inlet temperature start to rise as the charging session gets deeper and deeper. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I had the ICCU recall performed on my car about a week and a half ago. And this update doesn't specifically call out saying it does anything to the charging of the car. But I've noticed a big difference in the way that my car charges at 48 amps since that update. I am now able to charge my Ioniq 5 for an extended period of time at 48 amps or 11 kilowatts without it overheating. Now, just to be clear, my car does not have the VCMS update applied to it. So my car used to just completely fail the charging session. It would just jump to 0 kilowatts and the car would stop charging. Since that ICCU update that I had a week and a half ago, now it just stays charging. Now, prior to the update, when that VCMS AC inlet temperature reached 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius, the car would shut off and stop charging. Now, when charging at 48 amps, I will see that temperature climb to about 220 degrees Fahrenheit, and it just kind of sits there for an extended period of time, and the charging session just continues and continues and continues until it reaches the set point that I told it to. This is great news. Now, every Ioniq 5 in the United States is due to get this software update because it is a recall. So if your car ever goes in, it's going to get this update. So I have some screenshots of a charging session that I just did this morning. You can see I plugged in at 55% SOC, and it immediately went up to 10 kilowatts of charging power. You can see the VCMS AC inlet temperature is 107.6 degrees. 20 minutes later, it's at 187 degrees. A few minutes after that, it's at about 200 degrees. Now after a little more than an hour, we're up to 213.8 degrees Fahrenheit. 40 minutes after that, we're at 219.2 degrees. And then 40 minutes after that, you can see the VCMS AC inlet temperature actually dropped to 217.4 degrees. Another 40 minutes after that, you can see it peaking at about 223 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's at the point when I stopped it because I didn't want to have a fully charged battery pack. Now, a few days ago, right after I had the ICCU update, I did a similar test. So I plugged in at 39%, and it immediately shot up to 10 kilowatts. The outdoor air temperature was 75 degrees, so on the cooler side. So after about an hour of charging at 10 kilowatts, the VCMS inlet temperature reached 210.2 degrees Fahrenheit. And by the time I reached 84% state of charge, the VCMS AC inlet temperature maxed out at about 223 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's really nice to see that it's at least staying consistent for me across the board, across various days. We don't really know how much they raised this temperature threshold by, but they raised it enough that I am now able to successfully charge. Now, if you saw one of my recent videos on this whole matter, I stopped recommending this car to people that need to charge, say, 80 to 90% overnight. Do I rescind that at this point? No, I do not, because I don't have enough data to safely say that people living in warm climates are still not going to experience overheating of that parameter. But I will say it's pushing me a step in that direction of being able to recommend this car again to anybody. Now, to make matters a little more complicated, in a couple days, I am bringing my car back to the dealership, and I am going to get the latest VCU update for the car that contains the brake light fix. I'm going to be doing further testing with this to see what has changed since just the ICCU update. Will it continue being able to charge fine at 48 amps, or will it break something else? Really hoping it doesn't break something else, because I'm so thrilled that I can now charge at full speed again. Now, if you're the owner of an Ioniq 5 in the United States and you haven't received your letter yet from Hyundai telling you about the recall, make sure you go ahead and schedule an appointment. When you schedule the appointment, you can just simply click, I want this recall taken care of. And the brake light update is now out as well, and that is also being considered a recall. So when you go to make the appointment, make sure you tack that on as well. So I want you guys to let me know down in the comments section, if you are having charging issues on level 2, and you went and got the ICCU update already done, has it solved your level 2 charging issues? Are you able to successfully charge at 40 or 48 amps again? I know everybody's really interested in this topic, so we want to know everybody's experience. So anyway, guys, if you liked today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And stay tuned, because I'm going to have further information about the brake light update, testing of that. I'm also getting a Genesis GV60 in the next couple weeks, so expect some content on the Genesis. I also did spend some time with the Genesis GV70 a couple weeks ago, so expect a video on that as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.